Okay, so an addendum to the last video, we were finished thickening this thing. I'm going to show you how to check your thicknesses, because that's a very awkward thing to measure how thick something is. All right, Rhino has these tools, but it sucks at them. You can get Blender, which is free from blender.org. Okay, and Blender has a little trick in it, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to import that STL we made in the previous video. Import STL. It's on my desktop. It was called New Dragon. All right. So we import that guy, and it's huge. It's 129 megs big because I never decimated it. Everything in this video would go a lot faster if you decimate it. All right. So we got the Dragon over here. So in Blender, after you've imported it, go from object mode to edit mode. And then you'll see a little magic trick that happens in my Blender because I've already set this up, but I'll walk you through the steps on checking wall thickness. All right, so make sure you're in face mode. So you've got vert mode, edge mode, face mode up the top here. Make sure you're in face mode. All right. Then the next thing we're going to get to is, give it a second because there's a lot of faces, and you can see that I got a kind of coloration going on here. I'll explain to you what that is. Come over to this little tab over here, the overlays tab. Click down on it. Go all the way down to the bottom. In your Blender, it won't be ticked by default. Tick mesh analysis. All right. In mesh analysis, pick thickness as your analysis. And in casting, we like to say that your minimum casting feature should be around about 0.4 millimeters, okay? So everything 0.4 millimeters will be bright red, okay? So I'm going to put that in there. And then everything more than safe, I'm going to, let's say 2 millimeters is going to be blue. All right, so I'm going to put 2 in there, okay? And then this is a nice visual way to see what your thicknesses are, okay? So you can see that very obviously at the very tips of these points you've got a bit of red, which means it's going underneath 0.4. That's normal. It's on the tip of a sharp thing. All right, and very quickly you're up to 2 mil or thicker. Everything gray is much thicker than 2 mil. All right, so this entire item we did before, everything is fine. You're looking for any red items. If they are load bearing, then you've got a problem. Like in this case, it's not load bearing, it's just a feature on the outside. Okay, so everything over here is castable. All right, and most of it is more than castable. It's very thick. All right, in fact, this thing's going to probably weigh a ton. I might have to put it on diet a little bit, reverse what we did before, maybe not thicken it up as much. So I'd say that this is very, very castable. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to send this file to the team to do a wax print and a resin print to see how it comes out. The advantage of that thickening is you can see it's merged the part in a few places where these used to be loose before. They're now touching each other. So guys, I hope that was useful. That's the second little clip in the feature on making this Dragon editable. This Dragon you can purchase from CG Trader, by the way, or from Colts 3D. It costs $3. Cheers.